Hi everyone, and it's Savvy Sexy Social Vlog every day in August, day 30. So we are at our second to last day. Tonight, what I want to talk about is, have you ever wondered whether or not you gain more wisdom as you get older? Or is there any reason to have a wee bit more respect for our elders? When does someone become an elder? Hi everyone, I'm Alex and this is Tea and Transformation. So when does someone become an elder? And we have such a change in our perspective of what being an elder is, and even in what getting old is. I mean, I can remember when 40 was old or 50 was old, but we're so changing that these days. I'm 64 years old. Most people don't think I'm that old. They think I'm probably a good 7 or 8 years younger than that. So that's kind of nice. But when it comes to vlogging, and when it comes to sharing a bit of wisdom about what you've learned in your life, I guess the important part is, this isn't my first trip to the rodeo. So I've been around a little bit, and hopefully I've learned a few things. And even more than that, I've learned and experienced and grown in a few areas in my life. And I'm now at a point where I can share that wisdom if I'm called upon to share that. And I guess vlogging and putting up these videos every day on YouTube has allowed me to sort of identify those areas where I really do think I have some wisdom to share, and I think that's reflected by the number of views. Strangely, the video that has the most views is when I talk about why do we believe what we believe, and what difference does it make? Like, why would that even be an important conversation? And yet it seems to be one that people want to talk about. That and having the occasional rant or two about our integrity as business people and as heart-centered businesses or right livelihood businesses. I mean, I certainly like to think that's where my business niche is over on the right livelihood side. That having been said, it has been an experience to share this role. And throughout my years of working specifically with women on spiritual growth in sweat lodges and as a sweat leader and in courses very specifically designed for women to find a way to discover their spiritual selves and have that be the part of themselves that leads them forward in their life, so that everything like family, home, education, business, career falls into alignment with that. And so I've spent a lot of time thinking about that. And I used to say that I was a godmother. So trusted friend who could be part of your life to help shepherd you through the baby steps that you needed to take on the consciousness trail so that you could become a more full and complete human being. And now I've reached 64, soon to be 65. That'll be next year in the summer. So I'm just past 64 now. And I think I'm reaching the spot where grandmother becomes an appropriate term for me, or an elder, or wisdom. And in that case, the reason that I use those words is because much of my spiritual background, other than my Christian Episcopalian / Anglican background, is in the native spiritual traditions, and particularly those of the Plains tribe. I haven't practiced that much out of respect for the journey that our First Nations people in Canada have taken. And out of respect for their journey, I don't bring out those teachings often. But what I do know is that the grandmothers are part of our lives in terms of giving us guidance and moving us forward. So we have Grandfather Sky and Grandmother Moon. And so the moon energy is always one of renewal, of change and growing and moving forward. And I think that there's a certain amount of joy to be taken in having lived this long, in having been on the consciousness trail for over 40 years, of being able to step outside of myself and observe my own inauthenticities and then deciding whether or not I'm going to do anything about them. Because I really do live in the world that you get to choose. And if you want to choose your inauthenticities over your being authentic, that's okay. There's a price to be paid, and if you're willing to pay the price, then you should have at her. But I've reached that point in my life where I do have some wisdom. I've learned a thing or two. I've experienced some things in my life and learned from them. So at the end of the day, here we are coming down to the end of Vlog Every Day in August. And what I do know is that I know how to help people discover the heart of their business. I know how to assist people in finding their context and the intended results and the pathways to making those results happen. And it's not always about just the bottom line and what our net profit lines are. Sometimes it really is about heart. And if we align our why we do what we do, along with how we're going to do what we do, then we can look at the results that we produce so that we become a part of the community where we are into profit, people, and planet. And I think that being this age now and having been on this pathway for many, many years, that there is a place for spiritual guidance in business. I use tarot. It's an easy, identifiable way to do it. But really, at the end of the day, it is a kind of coaching, and it's a kind of coaching that talks about the heart and the context of your business. So that's my thought about being an elder. There is some joy to be taken in being older. And it doesn't mean that any of us are any less able to run a marathon, ride a horse, cut some cows, cycle around. A friend of mine just cycled around a lake in Switzerland. It was 350 kilometers, and she enjoyed every single bit of it. And we're the same age, where our birthdays are only 2 weeks apart. So growing older doesn't mean growing feeble, and growing older doesn't mean that you can't remember anymore. But growing older does allow us to bring into play the wisdom and the lessons that we've learned from a lifetime of journeying. So if any of you are interested in having a conversation with me about where your business is going and what it is that you really want to accomplish in your life, you know how to get a hold of me. All that information is down below, below the subscribe button. You remember the subscribe button. Please subscribe. Like the video if you do. Share if you would like to. And please leave a comment. I mean, I don't know, you might think I'm just full of, well, you know, that 4-letter word that starts with an S. But maybe I'm not. And maybe there is wisdom to be here. But I want to thank you all for going on this journey with me. We have one more video to do. It's been a trip, I will say that. So, thank you all. Please subscribe, please like, comment if you will. And I'm Alex. This is Tea and Transformation, and we'll see you tomorrow.